My name's James Nguyen. I'm currently working and living in Melbourne. Generally, I'm known for making videos, installations, lots of different random things, even writing. I was working as a pharmacist and specialising in palliative care pharmacy. My friends saw that I was kind of like depressed, so what they did was they bought me nighttime painting classes at the National Art School. I realised really quickly that I wanted to pursue this as a career. As an artist, I've been trained in painting and drawing, but what I actually really love doing is having lots of conversations with people. It can be strangers, but also a lot of times I love having conversations with my family and my friends. But through art, we're able to start listening to each other at the same time. What's really important to me is to make new connections with people, to build friendships, and to really think about, in these friendships, how I can ask uncomfortable questions and how I can share beautiful moments and kind of like make things together and, you know, like bring ideas and questions out into the world. To me, that's really important. I want to be making art that means something to my family and my friends. You know, I want to be making art that asks difficult questions, that are slightly uncomfortable. You know, like to me, those kinds of things make me want to keep making art.
Did you think anything more about it?
When I'm working with other people, I'm seeing what I'm doing through the perspective of someone else. That form of collaboration is really important to me. And when you're making and doing things together, it's really fun. You know, you've got this lovely experience that you share together. And when you're in a safe and happy place like that, then you're able to open up with your collaborators and ask, oh, how about this? Have you thought about that? And all of these questions actually enrich the artwork and enrich the experience. And in a way, we form a lovely kind of like dialogue that is both making and doing, and also both talking and thinking together. I either reach out to people who I've never worked with before, or I reach out to people who I've already had established relationships with. It doesn't really matter where people come from, as long as you both get along and you both can have difficult and uncomfortable conversations together without breaking your friendship. I think that's a really good starting point for collaborating on art projects. What I've got here is like a horse/dragon/mule head. All that you really need are just staples, paper, whatever's lying around, and a pair of scissors. And the idea here is to use really simple materials to really explore space and shape. Okay, so I guess step one would be cutting up paper. It's pretty straightforward. Now, I've got two types of paper here. There's like a creamy coloured one and kind of like a brighter white paper. Doesn't really matter what you've got. What you need to do is just roll out a little piece. Yeah, you can put them out like so. So with the headband, you just fold it in half. And to make it really strong, we do that double fold. So once you've done the half fold, you do one fold, and then you do the second fold. And that's going to be your first band. Put that there, just weigh it down. Now, whatever you've got the headband there. So what you want to do is put it on your head, just like so. You can probably ask someone to help you. So there you go. So that's about the width or the circumference, which is, the size all around your head. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll staple it. What you want to do is stick the smooth end of your stapler inside. Do 1, 2 to hold it in place, and then you've got the other side here. Now when you look at it, on the outside of the ring, on the outside of the headband, you've got the lumpy bits. So just the lumpy bits of the stapler. So when you put it on your head, it's not going to get caught on your hair. Now in Vietnamese culture, when you wear a white band like that, it usually constitutes a funeral. So it's kind of like a little bit scary. But today we're making a hat, so you want a double band. Okay, so what you want to do is grab one of your strips that you've already made before. And what you want to do is fold this in half to make it stronger. Okay, now when you fold the paper, it's probably easiest to fold maybe about 10 to 20 spare strips. And it's also fun to have slightly different coloured paper. You can use like bright coloured paper, you can use gift wrapping paper. It just makes it a lot more colourful, gives it a little bit of texture and a bit of difference so that you could see the form better. So I'm going to try using one of these bright coloured whites. Now sometimes when you start doing this, you might start to see a form or a shape that you like. For example, that might look just like rabbit ears, and that's finished. That could be, you could stop here, and then you've got, little bunny ears. Even if you want, you can even fold one over to make it a little bit cute. Maybe we might as well fold the other side. And that's all you need. And then straight away you've got like these little fun rabbit ear hat that you've got there. But then sometimes you might just go, I want to staple more stuff on top. Let's see what happens. And so when you've got some strange forms like that, that doesn't really represent anything, that's like the word abstract. Abstract can be just like some weird shape, strange forms that just exist in space. And that's okay for it as well. It's fun to wear strange stuff on your head, right? And you can even fold things. Okay. So you've got some zigzag shapes. Another shape that might be fun to do is kind of like a fold it over like so. Another fold over. And you keep folding them over. Yeah, you see lots of these loose connections. I like connecting them up, but you don't have to. And then I'll staple it onto here. Okay, now I'm sure you can think of lots and lots of different ways of making it interesting. And then you can staple the rose onto your hat as well. Now, you can also use some of the strips to give it more structure. If you want more structure, you just fold. So now it looks a lot thinner, but it's very strong. So what I'll do is I'll staple it here. Now you can see it's sinking a bit, so what you want to do is pull it up. So it's just constantly thinking about problem solving. Now another trick, if you've got like a loose one, you can make like a little tassel. So you just that just makes it more festive. Yeah. Okay, when you feel like you're done, just going to put it on. One thing that I really like doing after I finish a hat is to go and take it out for a walk. It's nice when you're out in the world and you take your art and your collaborations out into the world as well. I think it's a good place to be.